Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So, yeah, big up and down this week. You can see lots of tails, lots of buyers. One key thing that is happening, we are making higher lows, and it does look like we are trying to make our first higher high here. Oscillators are a little bit all over the place at the moment. If they cross over, it could be a situation of a reversal off here, which would then validate this as a flag, which was big move down, big flag, and then obviously you're looking to break below this level here at 13,382. So at the moment, it's not happening, but the reason I'm saying it's looking that way is look how they sort of coming together here. You know, if they were pointing up like this pattern here, that would be a different scenario. But yeah, back in the moving averages, which is what's been happening all along, don't be too surprised to see us reject much higher up. If we start looking at the 3 hour, it is really just an indication of how messy the week has been. You can see tails to the upside, tails to the downside, all over the place. Levels being respected, sort of, and then being broken, and then being respected again. So a little bit of structure forming. It's not how do I put it? It's not negative and it's not positive. It's pretty neutral right now. There's nothing here indicating that we are going to fall further, and there's nothing here indicating that we are going to rally. So kind of goes with what's happening in the market at the moment with inflation, and well, it's pretty much all driven by inflation right now, and rate hikes. So let's just get down to the hour. So what's happened here is you can see move down, big up, big down, big up, big down. Then we have a massive up with a flag. So that flag is broken with the gap up this morning, and if I do that, we're pretty close to that target. So if we put that level in there and look to the left, you'll see that's what we're aiming for. Now I want to get rid of some noise. So those are the levels. So I'd expect us to continue rallying into 13,957 for now. Then I would want to see some kind of a pullback. So pay attention here. We have a crossover of the moving averages. We're well above the 155 EMA. Want to see those three crossover as well, but then also want to see a pullback, and the pullback would be this gap. So this gap area here is fairly interesting. It is slap bang in the middle of this range. Remember, these are the two levels I gave you, well, most of the week I've given you these two levels. What was this? This was 13,794 to the upside and 13,547 to the downside. So pull back into this area here, and we hold it. It would also test the moving averages. Then you'd expect to move to the upside. But often when you've had a horrendous time to the downside, what happens is you wake up one morning and you have a gap, and then you have a pretty solid daily green bar that forms on that gap. And what that does is basically just gives you a breakaway gap. And often breakaway gaps, they do get closed more often than not, but not immediately. So it takes quite some time for price to come back and test that level. So at the moment, personally, I would be looking on the 15-minute to see if you can get a pullback into the area and start building a base. Then I'd start dibbling at some longs. Sorry, I want to get to the weekly. Pay attention to the weekly. So we have dropped below the weekly 155 EMA. Okay, so this could be a retest of this area, and that's why this area that we're in at the moment is so critical. It is the 155 EMA on the weekly, and that is a critical piece of information. The other critical piece of information is here. You've got this piercing weekly bar here, okay, and then you have this engulfing forming. So what is that? That is a double bottom. Obviously, for that double bottom to play out, we need to get back above 14,932 and find some support, and then you're looking for the move to the upside on the weekly. So that's still far away, but it just puts things into a little bit of perspective, because if we can build a base here, this trend line is your next logical target. So, and the other thing to bear in mind is you've got this, let's just call it a range, but you could call it a cup and handle. So there's your cup, there's your handle. So we've broken above that structure, and we need to just come back and test it. And if we can hold in this zone here, so anything above the gap pretty much, well, let's just be conservative. So if we can stay above 13,547 today, that's going to sort of add some fuel to the fire for the bulls. But if we can stay above the top of the range, 13, let's just call it 13,800, then that's going to be immense fire for the bulls, because it's going to give us a pretty solid weekly bar. So yeah, this is the zone to watch. I wouldn't be wanting to jump in long at 13,957 area. Definitely not looking to be short there either. So I would wait and see what transpires. If we do get a pullback and the moving averages stay and we find support down here, I'd more be interested in dabbling in a long than worrying about a short. Definitely not looking to hold anything over the weekend. So that's just kind of my view today. More than likely going to be sitting on hands, to be honest. It's there's no real confirmation, and I still feel it's a bit of a gamble of which way it's going to go. But my bias is slowly but surely changing towards heading back to this trend line at the moment. Okay, anyway, that's it for me. Hope it helps you somewhat, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Oh, no, I lie. We'll catch up with you on Monday morning. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers for now.